Hello, good morning. Today is Friday, 13th of September. It is 8:30 in the morning. I'm your host, Rich Benfield, and welcome to today's daily cyber briefing. So, thank you for bearing with me all week long. Normal service will resume with Stephen Ridgway back on Monday, where he does a far better job than I can. So, in the headlines today, new Void malware infects 1.3 million Android streaming boxes. Fortinet confirms data breach after hacker claims to steal 440 gig of files. MasterCard buys Recorded Future for $2.65 billion. And there's a new Linux malware campaign that exploits Oracle WebLogic to mine cryptocurrency. And finally, Transport for London confirms 5,000 users, bank data exposed, pulls large chunks of IT infrastructure offline. So, from the top, the new Void malware infects 1.3 million Android streaming boxes. So threat actors have infected over 1.3 million TV streaming boxes running Android with a new Void backdoor malware, allowing the attackers to take full control of the devices. The Android open source project is an open source operating system led by Google that can be used on mobile, streaming, and Internet of Things devices. In a new report by Dr. Web, researchers found 1.3 million devices infected with the Void malware in over 200 countries, with the largest number being detected in Brazil, Morocco, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Russia, Argentina, Ecuador, Tunisia, Malaysia, Algeria, and Indonesia. The Android firmware seen being targeted in this malware campaign includes Android 712 R4, Android 12.1 TV box build, and Android 10.1 KJ Smart 4 KVIP build. Depending on the version of the Void malware installed, the campaign will modify the install-recovery.sh, daemon SU, or replace with debugger-d operating system files, all of which are startup scripts commonly found in Android. The malware campaign uses these scripts for persistence and to launch boot. The Void malware itself is located in the files wd and void. The malware is named after. Actually, I've been saying void. It's vol-d. Of course it is. Android vol-d's main functionality is concealed in its vol-d android.vol-d.1 and wd android vol-d.3 components, which operate in tandem, explains Dr. Webb. The android.vol-d.1 module is responsible for Android Vol.3's launch and controls its activity, restarting its processes if necessary. In addition, it can download and run executables when commanded to do so by the CNC server. Okay, so in short, there's a very, very strong chance that these are off-brand TVs. Generally speaking, not the sort of thing you're going to find in the UK. I would not have thought, unless you're buying TVs extremely cheaply. So I don't think this is going to, looking at the countries involved, going to shape up to be anything major over here. And interestingly, the off-brand devices discovered to be infected were not Play Protect certified Android devices. If a device isn't Play Protect certified, Google doesn't have a record of security and compatibility test results. Play Protect certified Android devices undergo extensive testing to ensure quality and user safety. To help you confirm whether or not a device is built with Android TV OS and Play Protect certified, the Android TV website provides the most up-to-date list of partners. Okay, so you can check there, but there's a very strong chance that 99.9% of TVs in the UK aren't affected. But there is potential if you are operating in a global country, and quite often TVs are used as wallboards around offices, things like that. So might be worth checking if you're working on a global scale. Next up, Fortinet. So they've confirmed a data breach after a hacker claims to steal 440 gig of files. So this has apparently stolen from the company's SharePoint server. Fortinet is one of the largest cybersecurity companies in the world, selling secure network products like firewalls, routers, and VPN devices. The company also offers SIEM network management and EDR XDR solutions, as well as consulting services. Early this morning, a threat actor posted to a hacking forum that they'd stolen 440 gig of data from Fortinet's Azure SharePoint instance. The threat actor then shared credentials to an alleged S3 bucket where the stolen data is stored for other threat actors to download. Bleeping Computer has not accessed this storage bucket to confirm if it contains Fortinet's stolen files. The threat actor, known as FortiBitch, claims to have tried to extort Fortinet into paying a ransom, likely to prevent the publishing of data, but the company refused to pay. And realistically, rightly so, because even once you have paid, there's no guarantee that the files won't be leaked anyway. In response to our questions about the incident, Fortinet confirmed that customer data was stolen from a third-party cloud-based shared file drive. An individual gained unauthorized access to a limited number of files stored on Fortinet's instance of a third-party cloud-based shared file drive. That's a long way to say SharePoint, isn't it? Which included limited data related to a small number of Fortinet customers, the company told Bleeping Computer. Earlier today, Fortinet did not disclose how many customers are impacted or what kind of data has been compromised, but said that it communicated directly with customers as appropriate. A later update shared on Fortinet's website says that the incident affected less than 0.3% of its customer base and that it has not resulted in any malicious activity targeting customers. The cybersecurity company also confirmed that the incident did not involve data encryption, ransomware, or access to Fortinet's corporate network. Okay. So, looks like although data has been exfiltrated, looks like it's not been used for malicious purposes so far. If you are a customer of Fortinet that's been affected, no doubt they will have reached out to you by now. If not, I'm sure they will in the fullness of time. So next, MasterCard. They've just bought Recorded Future for $2.65 billion. I mean, that is a massive deal. And to be honest, I wasn't aware that MasterCard acquires companies of this type, but I guess it makes sense, kind of. So, MasterCard have announced a significant expansion of its cybersecurity services through an agreement to acquire Recorded Future, a leading global threat intelligence company. The acquisition, valued at $2.65 billion, aims to enhance MasterCard's ability to secure the digital economy, particularly within the payments ecosystem. Recorded Future, recognized as the world's largest threat intelligence company, serves over 1,900 clients across 75 countries, including governments from 45 nations and more than half of the Fortune 100 companies. This acquisition underscores a growing need for comprehensive cyber defense strategies as cybercrime costs are projected to reach $9.2 trillion globally in 2024, according to Statista. So Recorded Future specializes in providing real-time visibility into potential cyber threats by analyzing vast data sources. This capability, combined with its use of artificial intelligence, will enhance MasterCard's existing services in identity verification, fraud prevention, and real-time decision-making. The integration promises to deliver expanded threat intelligence capabilities to MasterCard's network of merchants and financial institutions. So Craig Vosberg, Chief Services Officer at MasterCard, emphasized the importance of trust in digital transactions, stating, Recorded Future adds to how we deliver greater peace of mind before, during, and after the payment transaction. So, okay, that's quite a big deal. Both MasterCard and Recorded Future use AI to analyze billions of data points and identify potential threats. So the collaboration should probably foster innovation and enhance cybersecurity practices and should reinforce MasterCard's reputation as a trusted brand. Chris Ahlberg, CEO of Recorded Future, expressed optimism about the partnership. By joining MasterCard, we see an opportunity to help more businesses and governments realize their full potential and enable everyone to feel safer in their daily lives. The acquisition is anticipated to close by the first quarter of 2025. Subject to regulatory approvals and customary closing conditions. The partnership is expected to enhance product innovation and expand Recorded Future's reach through MasterCard's extensive global network. This announcement includes forward-looking statements which are subject to risks and uncertainties. Factors such as regulatory approvals and market conditions could affect the completion and impact of the acquisition. MasterCard advises caution in placing undue reliance on these statements as they reflect expectations as of the announcement date. Next up, a Linux malware campaign. So it exploits Oracle WebLogic to mine cryptocurrency. Cybersecurity researchers have uncovered this new malware campaign targeting Linux environments to conduct illicit cryptocurrency mining. The activity, which specifically singles out the Oracle WebLogic server, is designed to deliver malware dubbed Hadouken, according to cloud security firm Aqua. When Hadouken is executed, it drops a tsunami malware and deploys a crypto miner, security researcher Asaf Moran said. The attack chains exploit known security vulnerabilities and misconfigurations, such as weak credentials, to obtain an initial foothold and execute arbitrary code on susceptible instances. This is accomplished by launching two nearly identical payloads, one written in Python and the other a shell script, both of which are responsible for retrieving the Hadouken malware from a remote server. And we have a couple of IP addresses for you. You might want to block these on your firewalls. They are 89.185.85.102. That is 89.185.85.102 and 185.174.136.204. I'll repeat that one. That's 185.174.136.204. Hopefully you've scribbled those down frantically, but don't worry if you haven't, because links to, as ever, links to every news article I talk about on this briefing will all be in the social, so you'll be able to find this one and dig out those IP addresses so you can simply copy and paste them. Anyway, in addition, the shell script attempts to iterate over various directories containing SSH data, such as user credentials, host information, and secrets, and uses this information to attack known servers, Morag said. It then moves laterally across the organization or connected environments to further spread the Hadouken malware. Here's hoping that those of you with large Linux deployments are performing proper network segmentation and firewalling off everything where you can. Hadouken comes embedded with two components, a cryptocurrency miner and a distributed denial of service botnet called Tsunami, also known as Katan, which has a history of targeting Jenkins and WebLogic services deployed in Kubernetes clusters. Furthermore, the malware is responsible for establishing persistence on the host by creating cron jobs to run the crypto miner periodically at varying frequencies. So Aqua noted that first IP address I mentioned is registered in Germany under the hosting company Aza International Limited, with a previous report from Uptix in February 2024 linking it to an 8220, 8220, however you pronounce that, gang cryptocurrency campaign by abusing flaws in Apple Log4j and Atlassian Confluent server and data center. The second IP address, while currently inactive, is also linked to Aza Group Limited, so presumably also in Germany, as highlighted by Curium and EU Disinfolab in July 2024. Aza is a bulletproof hosting service provider with a presence in Moscow and in two data centers in Frankfurt. The modus operandi of Aza and its fast growth can be explained by the recruitment of young developers affiliated to bulletproof hosting providers in Russia offering shelter to cybercrime, the researchers said in the report. Oh, interesting. So we've got links back to Russia, but presenting through German data centers. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, you've got those two IP addresses. If you're running a large Linux environment, if you're running Oracle WebLogic server, you might well want to block those IPs and just be done with it. Finally, this morning, Transport for London, this is. So last week, they confirmed that they had been a victim of a cyber attack. Latest news on this is that they've confirmed 5,000 users' bank data has been exposed. They've pulled large chunks of their IT infrastructure offline, and they've arrested a 17-year-old based in Warsaw, I think it was. Let's read on and find out. So TfL's ongoing cyber incident has taken a dark turn as the organisation confirmed that some data, including bank details, might have been accessed, and 30,000 employees' passwords will need to be reset via in-person appointments. Well, that's a big job. TfL dropped the claim it made earlier this week that there's been no evidence of customer data being compromised in its cyber incident page. A further update has now confirmed that yes, some customer data might indeed have been accessed. According to TfL, some Oyster card refund data may have been accessed. This could include bank account numbers and sort codes for a limited number of customers, probably around 5,000. The UK agency has said it will contact affected customers as soon as possible as a precautionary measure. While the network continues to run, large chunks of the TfL IT infrastructure have been pulled offline. Live tube arrival information isn't available, applications for new Oyster photo cards have been suspended, and refunds for incomplete pay-as-you-go journeys made using contactless. Staff have limited access to systems at this stage. The last point is significant since TfL is undertaking an all-staff identity check and resetting 30,000 employee passwords in person. According to the TfL Employee Hub, staff details have been accessed as well as those of customers, although right now TfL only suspects email addresses, job titles and employee numbers have been looked at. The Register understands that this incident is very much ongoing. There's also been an emergency meeting for management regarding the situation and a change in the physical security stance around TfL offices and facilities. Physical power has, however, been beefed up. Physical security, my mistake. Don't know what I was thinking there. So physical security has been beefed up by the sounds of it, although the very harassed-sounding PR person said it was to draw a line under it all. TfL is no stranger to identity theft and malware. In 2023, in an unrelated incident, a London Underground worker, using a keylogger, was able to give himself discounts and access the accounts of colleagues. The worker, Lewis Kelly, narrowly avoided a custodial sentence at the time. So the National Crime Agency confirmed at about 3:15 yesterday that a teenager was arrested last week in Walsall as part of the investigation into the attack. The NCA said the 17-year-old male was detained on suspicion of the Computer Misuse Act offences in relation to the attack, which was launched on TfL on 1st of September. The teenager, who was arrested on September the 5th, was questioned by NCA officers and then bailed. The cybercrime cops said they were leading the law enforcement response to the attack on TfL, working closely with NCSC, and that they're an offshoot, obviously, of GCHQ, as well as with the transport body itself to manage the incident and minimise any risks. NCA Deputy Director Paul Foster, head of the agency's National Cybercrime Unit, said, "Attacks on public infrastructure such as this can be hugely disruptive and lead to severe consequences for local communities and national systems. The swift response by TfL following the incident has enabled us to act quickly, and we are grateful for the continued cooperation with our investigation, which remains ongoing." And that is it. That is all of the news for this morning, or at least all of the interesting stuff. As I said, we'll post all of the links on the socials so you can dig in some detail and read all around what I've been talking about this morning. And as I said earlier at the start of this session, thank you so much for bearing with me this week. Stephen Ridgway will be taking back the reins on Monday, so normal service will resume then. And have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.